What do you think about the rumors of tension between William and Catherine with Harry and Meghan while they were no longer working royals? No tolerance. Apparently, William and Catherine gave Harry a frosty look after Meghan's relentless attacks. Alright guys, so let's talk about when Harry came back to attend the Well Child Awards. Well, he didn't get to see anybody in his family in spite of the fact that he was really close by, and I reported that already in the previous video. There was only about 100 miles between Harry and William. Well, reportedly, this cold as ice reception is the result of Harry and Meghan attacking the royal family and throwing them under the bus on multiple occasions. Alright, in this video, I want to dig a little bit into the relationship between Meghan and Harry and William and Catherine. Now, I remember still when we thought they were going to be the core of the future of the monarchy. William and Catherine and Harry and Meghan, what were they called? The Fab Four? But unfortunately, we were wrong about that. Now, one half of these couples is still at it. They are still working so hard. And then the other couple, well, they braved betrayal to pursue personal finances. Now, before I really get into the meat of this video, I gotta admit to you, I love the past. I am quite nostalgic, and I really enjoy digging up old stuff. But I also do believe what you guys say in the comments, and I want to remind you all there are signs for absolutely everything. Now, in a comment, one of you said that Meghan had ideas that she was more important than Kate and other royals, and felt rules were beneath her, and Harry expected everyone to bend to Meghan, and even the late Queen had her reservations about Meghan. So alright, it's really he said, she said. Harry and Meghan came along, problems started to crop up, so the two of them decided to run away, and things didn't really get any better. After everything that Meghan and Harry have said about William and Catherine, I think even if they were to apologize, their apology would not be accepted. And William and Catherine are going to continue with their good work, while Meghan and Harry just wallow in the mess they've made. You know, I have spent probably way too much time thinking about the problems between these two couples. So if I understand it correctly, from everything I have read in the reports and the interviews and even Harry's stupid book, the problems between the two couples arose before Harry ever married Meghan. If you ask me, Harry never told Meghan anything about how the monarchy really functions. And if he did tell her something, well, it looks like he allowed her to believe that she could change everything. Now, after Meghan entered the picture, soon enough we started to hear news that there were two different sections of royal fans. Some were fans of William and Catherine, and some were fans of the Sussexes. Well, the Sussex fans screamed none of the tabloid news was real or true about Meghan and Harry, that it was all fake news. But then, when these exact same tabloids publish stuff about William and Catherine that makes them look bad, whether it's rumors or just negative info or whatever, they claim that it has to be true. So let's look at the facts. Alright, we do know for sure that Catherine and William opened up their Kensington apartment to Meghan and Harry even before they got married, and they had them over for a week at their Anmer Hall home for the holidays. We know that Catherine did offer some lovely dinners and some visits, and we also know Meghan thought it was perfectly appropriate to meet her future in-laws, who are royals, wearing ripped up jeans and not even wearing any shoes. We also know that before they tied the knot, they saw and spoke with Oprah, which is pretty weird in itself if you think about it. And Oprah said that she didn't think that cute little cottage they lived in on Kensington Palace grounds was good enough for them. Now, the 1,300 square foot cottage contains a couple of bedrooms and one bathroom. Many members of the royal family have lived there, including William and Catherine after they married, and even little Prince George was there for 6 months. If it's good enough for two future kings, I don't really see how it's not good enough for Meghan and Harry. Now, William and Catherine didn't move into their Kensington Palace apartment until 2017. They only got to move in there after William left his job at East Anglian Air Ambulance. But Harry claims that Oprah made such a big deal out of it, she was so shocked, and they were advised to take some photos and record as much as possible. I do wonder why in the world they would need to do that. We also discovered that the 6 little bridesmaids' dresses were an absolute wreck. Now, they came in really late, and not a single one of them fit any of the girls. Now, Catherine had just given birth, and 2 weeks earlier she had sent Meghan a text message saying that the dress didn't fit little Charlotte. And apparently poor little Charlotte was crying because it was way too tight in some places, and it was way too big in others. And other moms had spoke with her, and the dresses simply didn't fit their daughters either. Well, Harry admitted that Meghan was way too upset with the media and her father and everything that was happening, so she couldn't even answer Catherine until the next day. And then apparently the next morning, she asked Catherine, "Do you know what's going on in my life?" And Catherine said, "Yes, but the wedding is in 4 days." And then Meghan said the palace had reached out to some tailor. He was at Kensington Palace, and the mothers could just meet him there. So Catherine could do that as well. So Catherine decided to load up Charlotte from Anmer Hall, and they drove to London. She had been on maternity leave, and the tailor said most of the mothers looked a little bit upset. They looked worried about if the dresses were going to be able to be fixed in time. Now, he doesn't know anything about this story about Meghan breaking down in tears. He wasn't even with Meghan. He was with his staff and also the mothers and the little girls. And I'm sure that was a really stressful time. I'm sure probably more than one person cried. After all, these kids were going to be viewed by millions of people. Harry claims that he came back to the cottage that day with Meghan, and she was just piled in a heap on the floor crying her eyes out. She showed him the latest message from Catherine, which was Catherine explaining the dresses being remade and Meghan saying, "Take Charlotte there. He has been at the palace since 8 a.m. Well, naturally, Harry claims that Meghan did not inform Catherine that until the next morning, the same time they were sending these texts back and forth. Somehow Harry remembers all these details, even though he has admitted that his memory's got some problems. But anyway, the only reason that Catherine gave Meghan flowers is because Harry told Catherine that Meghan had cried. And Harry thought that it was weird that Catherine seemed so uncomfortable giving Meghan her lip gloss, but she did end up giving it to her. Now, this was when they were on their way to the TV interview they did as the Fab Four before they got married. Meghan also told Catherine that she must be having baby brain. I mean, again, this is before they even walked down the aisle. And even Harry has to admit, whatever it was Catherine forgot, he doesn't know, and it was insignificant, but he does admit that Meghan said that. So anyway, even before the wedding, and of course right after, the rumors started circulating that staff were quitting left and right, that people were crying, that there was a lot of tension in the Kensington office, and actually most of the staff members that were available to Harry and Meghan were loaned to them from the late Queen, as well as the Prince and Princess of Wales. These people were supposed to help them with the wedding and office stuff and things like that. What they were not expected to do was be slaves around the clock. They were not expected to have to take calls and answer texts after hours. Now, the staff didn't have any problems when they were working for the late Queen or the Cambridges. Now, Harry admits a lot was being asked of them and that the job wasn't easy. Back in 2018, Jason told King Charles and William and the Queen's secretary about Meghan's bullying. Well, obviously it turns out all those stories were true. And then Harry went on to claim that there was one personal assistant who was asked to leave by Palace HR after this PA showed them that she got free stuff by trading on working with Meghan. But anyway, supposedly Meghan didn't know she wasn't supposed to get freebies. She still took them, but she was so generous she shared. Perfume and clothes and shoes and bags, who knows what else. It's against the rules, but Meghan didn't care because it didn't matter. She was willing to share. The important thing here is this all happened before the wedding and a few months after. Breaking rules because she wanted to, telling the late Queen that she didn't need any help from Catherine or Sophie, she had Harry if she needed any help whatsoever. Filming the life in the first cottage with those goofy dances and Frogmore and inside the palace, not allowed for commercial use by the way. They simply didn't have the Queen's permission to do that, which they did need. So why do people out there claim that Meghan tried? Did she? Did she really? She knew she was making people cry. She knew that Catherine and William were upset about what she was doing with the way she treated the staff, and also with the freebies. She just didn't care. Now, she had omitted ScoobyDoo in the palace, apparently, not one single time, but at least 3 separate occasions, and she didn't have the Queen's permission for that. I could go on if I needed to, but I know all of you well enough to know I don't need to. The truth is, Meghan was never gonna really make an effort. She never cared about doing things the royal way. And now, after all their Sussex sugars calling the royal family liars and racist, Harry admits a lot of this did happen, and neither he nor Meghan ever considered his family to be racist. He said, "I would know I lived with them." Well, alright then, maybe he or Meghan could explain why their fans turned on the royal family in such a nasty way. But anyway, enough of that unpleasantness. I want to focus on the work by the future king. He's out working in yet another community, and more people are joining his initiative. There are so many people and businesses joining him to defeat homelessness once and for all. There are people who are learning how to hire ex-inmates, homeless people, stuff like that. Entire groups have been hired, turning their lives around. I'm sure this initiative is going to be a raging success. If you still have any doubts about whether or not Meghan Markle tried to fit in, I hope that this video has done enough to let you know the truth of the matter. I hope that I made my case well. Meghan Markle was never going to be a UK royal, and I don't see how it ever would have worked out. She wanted it to be one way, that's her way, and it was nothing even close to what the Queen would have wanted or allowed. Do you agree with me? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is helpful, don't be afraid to like and share with your friends and relatives who would love it anytime you want. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.